We now get to the section of the tutorial on color and images. Although most web pages consist predominantly of text, graphics and icons can turn a dull, drab web page into a vibrant, exciting one. Most web pages will need some type of graphics to help you break up your text and balance your pages so you don't end up with huge blocks of unattractive and hard to read text on your pages. You want to design pages with a mix of images, borders, boxes, fonts, thumbnails, and other graphic elements to balance out all your text content. An image displayed in a web browser is referred to as an inline image. The image tag is used to embed an inline image into an HTML page. The image element has no end tag in HTML4, but in XHTML and HTML5, they require an abbreviated /greater than sign, as you can see right here. This is XHTML compliant as well as HTML5 compliant. Images can be embedded inside other elements, including divs, tables, and paragraphs. Now, before we get into the details of the image tag and its various attributes and the nuances of using images in your pages, for example, notice that here I have attributes source, width, height, and alt. More on all of these a little bit later. But for now, let's talk about web color, and let me give you also some background on preparing your images for web publication. Let me now introduce you to hexadecimal numbers and how to use them to specify the colors you'll use on your web pages. Now, the web has always been a colorful place. In fact, the web was born with 16 named colors and quickly expanded into 200 supported colors. Today, most browsers are capable of displaying thousands or even millions of colors. Since color is such an important aspect of your web work, you're going to need a way to precisely define the colors you're using on a web page. Authors of web pages have a variety of options available for specifying colors of elements on web documents. Colors can be specified with 3 separate 3-digit RGB values, or as a 6-digit hexadecimal value, or in some cases according to their common English names. Often a color tool or other graphic software is used to generate color values in the hexadecimal numbering system or in the RGB numbering system, and then you can convert it over. Now, let me describe how the hexadecimal numbering system works. Our number system is based on 10, the decimal system. That is, whenever you reach 10, you add one more digit to your number. And since everything is based in 10, we only need 10 digits to represent every possible number. The 10 digits are, of course, 0, 1, all the way to 9. The base of 10 goes back to when the system was first developed, and it's probably based on the fact that humans have 10 fingers. Now, the hexadecimal system uses 16 as the base instead of 10. The digits in the hexadecimal system are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, just as they are for the decimal system. Notice that up here I have 2 systems side by side. 1 through 9 is the same. However, the next 6 numbers are A, B, C, D, E, and F. Although it's only recently been agreed that the letters A to F should be used to represent those last 6 digits. So if we count from the beginning and we see where we end up, you'll notice that the top row here is the ordinary decimal number and the bottom is the corresponding hexadecimal number. So 10 in the hexadecimal system is represented by A, 11B, 12C, 13D, 14E, 15F, and then we continue with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 in the hexadecimal system actually represents 20 in the decimal system. And reading from the chart, 1A represents 26, 1F is 31. So if you continue this counting all the way up to 255, you'll find that 255 corresponds to FF in the hexadecimal system. This means that all numbers from 0 to 255 can be represented with only 2 digits. So down below is a chart of colors with the equivalent hex values and then also the English color names. So aqua is #00, 4 Fs. Lime is 00FF00. Red is FF0000, and so on. Let me summarize by just saying that browsers use these hex values or hex numbers to identify specific colors. So you'll want to use these hex colors using a chart like this one here. I just Googled hex color chart and I found a variety of these color charts that you can use as a reference to get your colors. Here's another one that I found from Google, organized slightly differently. You can also use a color picker in an editor like Fireworks, Photoshop, or Dreamweaver. In Dreamweaver, this would be found in the Properties Inspector. There's a little color chip. Click on that and notice you get all of the hex values there and a little thumbnail of the color that your mouse is currently over. This will give you the precise hexadecimal number for that particular color. Now, if you're used to working in the RGB color space, for example, you're working with Photoshop or Illustrator, you can find a very handy RGB to hex converter that will convert those RGB values to hexadecimal values that you can then use in your HTML pages. For example, if your RGB value is 255, 0, 255, you can calculate that, and that's the color right there, $FF00FF. I found this converter by simply typing into Google RGB to hex converter, and I found this very handy web-based conversion tool that I can use to convert between those two color definitions. Now, when choosing the colors that you'll use on your web pages, you want to go with a predetermined color scheme. A color scheme is a collection of colors that look good together. The last thing you'll want to do is choose colors at random as you work through your pages. So let me now move on to the next movie and demonstrate for you how to create attractive color schemes to use in the various graphic and visual elements of your web pages.